I've only been gone 4 minutes.
Well, I certainly hope you've learned your lesson.
As it turns out, you're needed.
For God's sake, make up your mind.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. Since we've all had a chance to see Sherlock Series 3, it's time to start talking about Series 4. So what I'm going to do is my top 10 predictions with as much evidence for each one as possible. Before we get started though, I just got some really good news, and since I'm so happy, I'm giving away one copy of the Series 3 DVD to 5 random subscribers in the comments. All you have to do is leave a comment. I will be doing a Q&A video for these Series 4 predictions, so if you have any questions that you want me to include in that, just write them in the comments. Those will also be your entries for the giveaway too. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen any of the episodes yet, because we will be talking about specific plot points. But let's get started. The East Wind is here. Number 10, Watson Baby. Mary Morstand was super pregnant during the final moments of His Last Vow, so if Series 4 picks up directly after that, she's still going to have a baby in one of those episodes. I think we can all imagine that at some point the life of that baby will be threatened by the villain, and Sherlock's last vow will continue to be a big theme. Raise your hand if you think that Sherlock really could be a girl's name, or write your favorite Watson Baby name in the comments. Number 9, Sherlock running around with that Watson Baby will break the internet. I'm talking about Tumblr specifically, but Benedict Cumberbatch was the most reblogged person on Tumblr last year, so imagine what will happen when he starts cluing for looks with a baby. That doesn't necessarily mean that the baby will be born during Series 4, but we can assume that the baby will be a big part of the plot. Regardless, Baker Street Babies is totally going to be a thing next year. I guess you could also consider it a shout out to the Baker Street Babes too. They have an awesome Sherlock podcast. Number 8, Billy Wiggins will totally be back. He even called himself Sherlock's protege. When he started making deductions in Molly's lab, I actually wondered if there was going to be a connection between drug addiction and savants, or if he was just naturally gifted like Sherlock. Either way, in the canon, the Billy and the Wiggins characters were both really important, so regardless of which stories they adapt, he'll definitely be there. During His Last Vow, he kind of took the collective role of the Homeless Network and the Baker Street Irregulars, depending on how you look at them. So I'm also wondering if he's going to start running Sherlock's Homeless Network too. Number 7, even more Mycroft. The season dealt a lot with Sherlock's family, but I don't expect Benedict Cumberbatch's parents to return, and even if they do have cameos, they will be a lot more like Empty Hearse than His Last Vow. The Sherlock and Mycroft scenes are so popular in the fandom though, and the Mycroft character is so well developed, that I think they'll continue to be heavily featured on screen together. A big part of their relationship that was new to Series 3 was actually their childhood, learning about things like Redbeard, and actually seeing young Sherlock, played by Stephen Moffat's real-life son. The next logical step would be to feature flashbacks to a teenage Sherlock and Mycroft. In the canon, Mycroft is about 7 years older, so it would really be like teenage Sherlock and Mycroft at university. Quick side note though, if you haven't seen it, Young Sherlock Holmes was an 80s movie that depicted Sherlock during those university years. The actor that played him, Nicholas Rowe, is actually on Da Vinci's Demons right now. Number 6, Mary will be a much bigger part of the action. In His Last Vow, we found out that she was an elite assassin and a dead shot, so there's no way Series 4 isn't going to invoke those skills, especially since she's a mother now. At this point, she's kind of like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. Someone will probably try to harm or steal her baby, and Sherlock and John will have to stop her from trying to kill everyone responsible. I totally can't wait to see Ninja Mary fight scenes. Someone actually asked me if we'd ever get to see a Sherlock fight scene, but we kind of already did during Scandal. The next logical step would be a Mary fight scene. We've really only seen her use her sharpshooter skills. Number 5, Sherlock will still be a murderer. I don't think the series will backtrack on Sherlock killing Magnuson. It was a big part of His Last Vow, and taking that away from him would kind of undo the sincerity of that promise. Mycroft's comment about learning your lesson is also a tip-off that there won't be any major consequences to Sherlock that we haven't already seen. I think that the government was satisfied with Mycroft's solution, and the Series 4 villain will probably negate any further concerns that they might have. Number 4, the stories. This is a bit of a problem because they've already done most of Conan Doyle's best-known stories. Each season has featured one of his 4 novels, and they've already done Study in Scarlet, Hound of Baskerville, and Sign of 4. So the next logical step is to do Valley of Fear. It actually features the first chronological appearance of Moriarty. In the canon, it actually takes place before Reichenbach Fall, but if Moriarty is back, then this story would make the most sense. Other stories they could do are Lady Frances Carfax, Dying Detective, or even the Red-Headed League. Number 3, a return to proper form. Stephen Moffat said that as Sherlock gets more emotional, he becomes less brilliant. And the final moments of His Last Vow kind of imply that he's returning to form, even if the high-functioning sociopath line is unreliable narration. He's definitely not a sociopath. In my own mind palace, the best Sherlock Holmes stories are always like chess games, very calculated, very precise. So I don't think we'll see another episode like Sign of 3 with Sherlock dancing his way to clues, stoned and drunk. Number 2, the final solution. What better way to snap Sherlock back into form than a doomsday scenario set in motion by the one true Moriarty? Notice I said the one true Moriarty. In canon, Moriarty is every bit as clever as Sherlock, and if Sherlock and Mycroft were one step ahead of Moriarty during Reichenbach Fall, then wouldn't it stand to reason that Moriarty would have his own 13 different scenarios? Regardless of who the villain is, I think that the post-credits scene is the signal that a doomsday scenario has been set in motion, like a last will and testament. And my number one prediction, Moriarty is really dead, and that clip we saw was being used by another villain. Rule number 1, the Doctor always lies. In the world of Sherlock, different characters take on the role of the Doctor, so to speak, and in this case, the madman in the box is Moriarty inside your television. With so many other villains to explore, it doesn't make a lot of sense for Moffat and Gatiss to retread old territory. But just to be clear, I definitely think that Andrew Scott will be a part of Series 4, just not in the way you hope. I really think it's just another villain enacting Moriarty's doomsday scenario, or enacting their own scenario using him as a front. A couple of other big villains that it could be include Moriarty's brother, who's also named James, the real Colonel Moran, Henry Peter from Lady Carfax story, Rene Heron, Fantomas, and Von Bork. But if it is in fact Moriarty, here is one possible reason why he's still alive. In Conan Doyle's story Final Solution, we find out that Moriarty's brother is called James, and the one true Moriarty is called Professor Moriarty. That would mean that it was the brother who killed himself on the rooftop and played the Richard Brooke role. In canon, Professor Moriarty is someone who always acts through agents. It's a major character trait that he never directly acts against people, especially Sherlock. And in Reichenbach Fall and Great Game, he's very much up in Sherlock's face. So there's a chance that that was never the real Moriarty. Take that evidence for what you will, but let me know in the comments, what is your biggest prediction for Series 4? A lot of people have been asking me when it's going to air, and unless there's a major delay in scheduling the actors, it's basically going to be the same time next year. They already have their story for Series 4, and they're plotting out Series 5. Since so many of you guys have been commenting about how you want a, Moriarty Lives video, I might do that next week. I'm also going to be doing a Series 4 Q&A video, that will be a companion to this video. So if you have any special questions about Series 4 that you want me to include in that, just write them in the comments. Those will also be your entries for the giveaway too. I'll also be doing a new Doctor Who Q&A as well as a Walking Dead video that'll explain the giveaway I'm going to be doing whenever that show comes back too. Right now, click here for my breakdown of His Last Vow and click here for the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High fives.